Hello, how's everyone doing? Let's just do some Pilates. I hope you like my setup, hiding everything with my child's baskets. Here we go, just gonna lie back. This is just a nice, easy, good morning wake up Pilates for anyone. Start with your feet about hip width apart. Remember, your hips aren't the outside of your hips. They're where that little bony protrusion is, just kind of straight down. That's where your hip is. And all we're going to do is breathe out as we rock our pelvis back. Breathe in as we bring it forward. Imagine there's a raspberry under the small of your back and you're crushing it. The other thing to think about is not letting your knees drop in or drop out. We want knees, hips, feet all lined up. So we're breathing. All right, and now we're going to start going. So you're going to find what we call neutral, which is where the raspberry is not crushed, but no one can reach under your back and steal it. So no one can reach back here and steal it, and it's not crushed. Also, if you think of a butterfly, keeping a butterfly in there. So we're going to go side to side. Now we don't want, while we're doing this, our legs flopping. No, we want them to move as if they're in a hallway, like two pistons. Takes a bit of work, but if you imagine 12, 6, 3, and 9, then we start at the top and we go around. Oh, you might have heard that pop. Obviously my back needed a little bit of movement today. And one way will be easier for me. I always really struggle between 9 and 12. And sometimes getting to 6 and 9 is a bit hard as well. Whereas 12 to 3 is like child's play. So we go around in circles. I have an advanced Pilates class as a student tonight that I'm really looking forward to. We've been on holidays. And it'll be nice to go do a really hard workout, but I'm not going to do any really advanced movements with you guys today. All right, so after you've gone back and forth around in a circle a few times, and you feel like your back is really moving, you're going to go back to that forward and backwards. So you're going to bring your tailbone up and slowly, one vertebra at a time, lift up off the mat into a bridge. Now again, we don't want our legs going out, we don't want our legs going in, and we want weight evenly through all of our toes, which sadly you guys can't see, but the weight's evenly distributed. And then we come back down, one vertebra at a time. And I love this as at a start of a lesson. It really turns on your glutes, really gets them fired, and it makes you aware of your hamstrings. It can really just ground you to where you are, because both hands, both feet are on the floor, everything's spread out. And you feel secure doing it because you've got a lot of points of contact. You're just lifting all the middle bits off. You're keeping your distal points, your head, your hands, and your feet on the ground and showing that they can support you. So I want to do about 6 to 8 of these. And you want to think, if you're pushing up more, it's not coming from your ribs lifting away, it's coming from your glutes, coming up. There we go. Now I have slight leg length difference, which is hard to notice except when I'm doing this, because my left hip can go up higher than my right hip, so I have to work harder on this right side to get it up there. But Pilates is about us working on with what we have to make it better. Don't forget to keep your ribs and your hips connected. So we don't want our ribs coming out everywhere. That's not us getting higher, that's our ribs coming out of control. And then back down. There we go. Now, keeping our legs at hip width apart, all we're going to do is we breathe out. Let's bring one leg up and breathe in to take it down. Now my hips are moving a bit, probably because I'm not as warmed up as I want to be. So, thinking about where my hips are in space. There we go, that's feeling a bit better. So I think I've told all of you I'm doing my Pilates teacher training. So filming myself doing some exercises like this is really good because I can check how I'm teaching them and get better at it that way. And then we start our hands. I'm going to do one at a time to start with. And what you'll see is if you go too far, so if I let my hands go all the way, my ribs just pop up. I don't want that, so I actually want to stop when I feel my ribs about to pop up. What I find is if I do 2 or 3 on each side as a warm-up, I can go a little further each time until I can almost touch the floor without my ribs popping up. Once I've done that, I'll start doing a few both arm ones. And this really is just a nice way to wake up. I woke up quite early this morning. All right, now, if you're feeling up for it, we're going to take left arm back with right leg, and then right arm back with left leg. And you'll see later, we'll be doing this in a different orientation to gravity. And that's one thing I love about thinking about Pilates, is right now, my body should feel almost the same as it would if I were on all fours or standing up. The only difference is my orientation to gravity. So we should work on using our muscles as if we were oriented different ways, but that we're using the muscles the same each time. Since this is just a short morning Pilates workout, nothing too big, too crazy, we're just going to bring one leg up and the other. There we go. Bring them slightly together. We're going to stick our hands behind them, lift our chest up just a little as we straighten our legs, and come to seating, and then roll back down. Our feet will eventually lift up. We'll end up on our back again. We're just going to do a few of these to start warming up our abs. There we go. Since I think we have relatively warmed up abs, plant your feet hip width apart, interlace your hands, slide them behind your head, and make sure you can see your elbows in your peripheral vision. Right now my elbows are way too low, so bring them back up a little. What you should be feeling is obviously your core working, your abs should be working, but you should be pushing your head into your hands, right? Your head shouldn't be doing this work. Imagine your ribs, your top ribs, your front ribs sliding towards your hips. Now there is a more advanced variation, which I'll show you one or two, but right now I have to be really careful because I'm still getting some doming from my slight separation, my diastasis recti, from my pregnancy. I had a 1.5 centimeter separation, which isn't that bad, but you have to heal them carefully. So I go up, I breathe in, keeping my head at the same level, I breathe out. To get a bit higher, I stay up, get my hands back behind my head, and go back down. And if you look very carefully right here, you'll see this little bit pop up just slightly more, so I'll do one more for you. Right there. It's a little higher than I want it to pop up. So be gentle to myself. Now we're just going to try to roll up. So legs out long, arms over your head. That That was a bit more momentum than I'd normally like, but I do have to remind myself I am working on my abs and I have a lot of my strength back. So I'm going to go to mermaid. So mermaid, legs in a Z sit or a Z sit. This hip is slightly higher. I don't have a square, so I'm gonna steal one of my child's toys, pop that under my higher hip. There we go. And now they're a bit more even. So for mermaid, think about your shoulder blades sliding down your back. They're honey dripping down your spine. Your hands, don't go up high, don't go too low. Just right out. Shoulder blades down, shoulders away from ears. Keep this hip down and over the other way. You should feel a nice stretch because you're keeping that hip down. And you're like seaweed in the ocean, just moving from side to side. Keep your elbows soft. This time, go over, look, thread the needle. I find doing it to this side, it's a bit less comfortable. The closed side is always a bit more comfortable. There we go. And this again, much like our pelvic curls, pelvic clocks, and our bridging, it's just great spinal articulation. Now, when I go on this side, you can see my hips are actually almost even, so I'm not going to use a block at all. This side's a bit easy. This right hip has much better internal rotation. All right, so again, there we go. I feel like I should do a voiceover with some nice relaxing music. I'm not going to. I haven't figured out how to do those yet. I'm really bad at counting when I do Pilates by myself, so when you guys are counting this, because I know one of you is, if one of you is watching and through, if my numbers are off, they're off. Just accept it. But you should be doing 4 to 5 on each side, plus 3 or 4 of threading the needle. The next bit we're going to do is spine twist. So I'm going to use, so that you guys can see me, a lotus seated position, but you can do this with your legs out in front of you. And what I like about this option as well is you can see if your hips are moving, because we want our hips to be as still as possible. And so it's just your spine twisting over your hips. If you do it in this lotus seated formation, or even with your legs crossed, the big advantage is your hips can't move. They're actually locked into place. Some people find this one uncomfortable because they can't sit on their sit bones, their ischial tuberosities, with their legs like this. They can go to a more relaxed one. So that is a big, depending on your flexibility. And then your arms will go out, so sitting on your ischial tuberosities, and we turn, and you feel that point where your hips want to move, and we go back, and we run into our daughter's toys. My head's going too far, so bring that back. So your head stays over everything. I believe my child is woken up from her nap. Thank goodness her dad is here. My filming schedule changes tomorrow because he goes back to work. So we do a few each way. You just, if you're having trouble keeping your head in line, I find also putting your hands together in the traditional yoga prayer pose. And then, because you can see your hand better in your peripheral vision, when you do that, you can't go as far. It really does limit you. And then we'll do about 4 to each direction with that last one. Now imagine you're sitting up against a wall right here. Okay, so we can't go back because there's a wall right there. Your arms are out, your legs again about hip width apart. Imagine you're on a glass table, so your arms can't go up or down. And we just drop our chin and go forward. Again, this is called spine stretch. So it's just our spine stretching. And probably your hamstrings for most people. Not for me, but for most people, your hamstrings. Imagine at the same time that your hands are shooting as far out as they can, while your arm, your shoulder, is staying in its socket as strongly as it can. The other thing is, if you're like me and your elbows go out, soften your elbows. Uh-oh. Someone's fussy. When I've taught classes, there's always a student who's newer, inexperienced, or really experienced and out of practice who wants to win at this. So you'll see them going like this. It's really about staying on that hip. And there's nothing wrong with being that excited student. They're just really into it. They just want to do it well. And as a teacher, my job is to teach them how to do it well without negating the entire exercise. There we go. So those are all of our spine. We've moved it in all of the directions. We're going to get onto all fours. And the best way to do this, to think of it, is wrists below elbow, below shoulder. So I want these in a nice straight line. And we don't want, that was a bit of displacement, so we want that back. Think about turning your humeral head in the socket while keeping your elbows, the elbow crease, pointing towards each other. You want your knee directly below your hip as well. So I always start with my legs because I'm stronger keeping my hands on the floor than my legs on the floor. So you just imagine as you're taking that leg out that you're not taking it up, you're taking it long. I'm on a slightly stickier mat than I'm used to using, so I'm sticking just a bit. Normally at home I do these not on a mat, but I thought it might be a good idea. There we go. So remember when we were on our back doing our leg and arm arcs and I said, we'll be at a different orientation to gravity. We're at a different orientation to gravity. So, I was just on holiday, how I can do that. There we go. So again, a few each side, arm and leg to warm up, and then we go left arm, right leg. And again, it's all about as far as you can reach, not as high as you can reach. So we're going far, long, your beautiful long line. All right, I'm going to be counting my head now because we're going to hold this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I normally hold these for about 30 seconds to a minute. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But since I'm recording, I'm not going to hold them for that long. So, perfect. Now, down we go. Legs should just be up long behind you. Your glutes should be relaxed. These are my non-relaxed glutes. These are my relaxed glutes. So they should look a bit soft, a bit nice. I am going to slightly move that. Start with my arms in a more capital E position. So this is the top of the E and the middle of the E and the bottom. We're going to imagine there's a marble under our nose. We're just going to roll that away. And bring our gaze to the front of the mat. And we're going to bring our arms, our hands right under our shoulders into grasshopper arms. And we're going to again imagine your elbows are painting down the wall behind you. And again, your glutes should be soft this whole time. This is about your thoracic, so the areas, the part of your back that's connected to your ribs. Not about your neck or your lower back. There we go. We're going to pike up, just kind of stretch, just a little. There we go. And then we're going to walk back as if we're in a corridor. Now you're not going to be able to see me in just a second, but that's okay because I'm still going to talk to you. So we are about to do a standing roll up. And what I find most important about this, I guess, first thing is where your feet are. You want 60% of your weight on the front of your feet, 40% on the back, and you want it evenly distributed between each of your toes. The other thing I find is very hyperextendable, see how everything just keeps going? I have to soften my knees to do this correctly because I don't want my bum going back. So let's give it a try going up. So my bum my hip should be above my knees, should be above my ankles. 60% of the weight should be on the front of my feet, 40% on the back, evenly distributed, soft knees. So roll up is obviously about what happens with the back and the spine. But getting it right, yes, is about what happens with everything below the hips. So we keep those knees soft, we keep the weight right. Yeah! I've been working to get this right for a while. It's one of those easy exercises that I struggle with. There we go. And there's just a nice 15 to 20 minute morning Pilates workout. Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you like this. I normally do makeup and lifestyle videos. Occasionally I'll toss in some exercise Pilates work. And yeah. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Like, subscribe. Thank you. Bye. Oh my gosh, it's a mosquito.